Welcome to week 19 and 20 of St. Paul's Art. These 2 weeks we're going to focus on the last project I have planned for the Epiphany and Christmas season. In some cultures, there are cakes baked for Epiphany, and they're called king's cakes. And one of the cultures that it's done in France, it's done in Mexico and New Orleans and Louisiana, because basically French descendants. But it's called Galette de Rois, and that's cake of the king. Inside the cake, they place a little figurine of a baby, and whoever finds the baby gets to be king for the day. It's kind of based on the kings searching for Jesus by the star. And I just thought that was kind of a neat thing for us to focus on and think about as we move on to looking at the artist Wayne Thiebaud. He is an American artist, and he was born in 1920. He focused on pop culture at the time. A lot of his paintings are based on pastries, donuts, cakes, pies, parfaits, gumball machines, lipstick, shoes. And those paintings, I would encourage you to find the YouTube link that has a short video of his work. But our project this week is going to be a cake drawing where we get to make our own king cake. So these are two examples. You can choose to make the cross section like Mr. Thiebaud, or you can also make a cake with many different shapes, designs, patterns. So first, what we need to do is draw our cakes. So I am going to work through one with you. And for those working at home, you can use any material you like. I'm going to use a combination of crayon and watercolor. And I can also start with some marker. I'm going to actually draw the cake in crayon first. So I would like my cake to be red. So I'm going to use a red crayon. And I'm going to do a cross section of a cake because I want to give you an example of perspective and how we can make it look like we're looking at the cake. Now, for the easier ones, you can just make your cakes stacked on a top. Either way is great, but I'm just going to go through one of these drawings with you. So I want my cake to be red, and I'm going to start by making an oval shape at the top, because if I'm looking at my cake, it's not going to be a circle. It is going to be an oval because we're looking at it from the side. And I'm going to bring that around, and I want a slice to come out of that cake. And I'm doing more of that oval. And I want to do part of it in crayon because I want it to be red. And I want to do the rest in watercolor. So if I'm going to use watercolor, that is going to be the last thing I use. So I'm finishing up the drawing of my cake. So the sides are going to be straight. There's no curves to those. But I want to mirror this shape at the bottom. And this cut is going to be straight. And this cut is going to be straight. And this cut is going to be straight. And because it's missing, I'm going to do this. So there's the shape of my cake. So this is the whatever the cake is sitting on, which I'll make it a plate. Make it a blue plate so you can see the difference. Same oval shape, because that could be circular, could also be square. And then I would like to kind of make a line of distinction of either a table or something else in the back, like that. So my cake is sitting somewhere. Now, before I use my watercolor, I'm going to use some white crayon and make some designs on it. In white. You can do this in color, different colors. I just want to add some texture to my cake and some detail. And if you wanted to put dots on your cake, you could do that. You can put zigzags on your cake. You can make your cake special in the center. Like maybe I want lines in my cake in the center in red. Maybe it's layers of frosting. I can put decorations on the top, on the edge of my frosting. It doesn't have to be smooth. But the whole point is you are thinking about how you would like your king cake to look. And I'm going to add that watercolor. Now, like we did with the Epiphany, or not the Epiphany, the Star of Light project, the white of my lines on the cake is resisting the watercolor paint, which is why I'm getting those lines to come up like that. And so, in this project, I would like you to get really creative and make your own cake with all the design and pattern you'd like to, using Mr. Thibaud's cakes, pastries, paintings as an inspiration. If you feel like adding some sort of hint that there's a baby Jesus hidden in your cake, you can do that as well. Because focusing on the traditions that we know about around the world is as interesting as finding out about a new artist. And so I'd like you to fill your page with color. I'm coloring in my plate. And you can use a combination of watercolor and crayon, as I'm doing. You can use oil pastel, you can use markers, and you can use colored pencil. Anything that is going to make your cake colorful and fit for a king. I'm just going to start the table. give you an idea of how I would like that entire space filled with color. I'm starting over there, and then at the top I think I'm going to do yellow. So my table is going to be orange and my walls are going to be yellow. So this is a watercolor example of a cake, and these two that I created are oil pastel. This one's on green paper with oil pastel, and this one is on brown paper with oil pastel. So there you have it. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and welcome back to Art at St. Paul's.